Good morning, math friends. It's Mrs. Conlon again. How are you all? I miss you. So I think that I am going to say we are done working out of the ebook. We did all chapters but 12, and we're going to skip that one for now. We are going to start something that the 7th grade teachers want you to come into 7th grade knowing, and that is adding integers. Then we're going to subtract integers another day. And then we're going to apply this to order of operations and to algebra. Okay, so I have a little warning, my little tips and tricks, right? This topic often looks really easy to kids. They say, oh, I know how to add and subtract. They rush through it. They get a lot of them wrong. And then because they didn't really watch the lesson, they don't know how to do it. My advice to you is really slow it down, show your work, give this a chance, and don't assume that because the numbers might not be that big that your answer is correct if you rush through it. Okay, so when I say adding integers, okay, let's remember we've actually already added integers. You've already done that from elementary school, very young age. So let's think about it. You've already done, say, 38 plus 41, right? That equals 79. You've already added integers. Well, let's not forget integers also means negative numbers, and that's obviously what I'm getting to. So when I say adding integers, that's what the books call it. I don't like that phrase at all. I prefer to call it combining integers. Instead of adding, I like to call it combining integers. And you'll see why as we go. I'm going to show you. I prefer to call it combining integers. Okay, so I have some examples written on the side, and we will go through them. When I talk about integers, positive and negative numbers, I really like to think about money. Okay, so if I give you an example, say negative 46 plus 19. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about when I talk about adding integers. We're really going to deal with those negative numbers. So sometimes students will say to me, is that a negative or a subtraction sign? It's kind of the same thing, right? If you negate something, you minus it. You don't have it. So I'm going to, when I look at this problem, I'm going to make up a word problem. And I'm going to talk about money. When I talk about integers, I always like to think about money. Okay, so negative $46 means I owe somebody $46. You guys probably borrow money from your parents or money from your friends. So let's pretend you owe $46. And then you add some money into your life. Maybe you do some chores. And when you add, you are earning money. So once you earn or add $19, let's be honest, you don't get to keep it. You have to start paying this person back. And at the end, I'm going to combine my debt. Do you guys know the word debt? Okay, that's how you spell debt, D-E-B-T. I'm combining my debt with what I earn. So watch what I'm going to do on the side. I'm going to take my debt, that's the larger absolute value. I'm going to pay back my friend, whoever I borrowed money from, right? But I still owe my friend $27 after giving them that $19 that I owe. So I combined my debt with what I earned. Okay, I'm going to ask that you stay with me for 10 problems. Stay with me for 10 problems. This might be a long video. Pause it as needed. You might want to, some kids think this is easy, I got it, and hey, maybe you do. You might want to watch me write a problem and pause it and then solve the problem on separate paper and then see if you matched my answer. That might be a good strategy here. But if this is brand new to you and maybe you're a little confused, Just watch me do 10 problems. Okay, so let's go to number 2. I'll make up a second problem. Okay, in number 2, I owe $32 and then I earn $58. Okay, I'm in debt $32, I earn $58. Again, I'm going to combine my debt and what I earned. In this case, 58 is the larger absolute value, right? I'm going to pay back my friend what I owe my friend. And in the end, I have $26. So these two problems really looked easy to me, but when I took a better look, I had to think about it. Okay, 58 was what I had. It's the larger absolute value. I had to pay back my friend what I owed, 32, and in the end, I have $26. Let's go to number 3. I'm going to keep explaining, but I'm going to make them all look different. Okay, watch this. Okay, when you were in elementary school, you used to write problems like this. This is the same as that. These two problems are the same problem. Here I made it look like a subtraction problem. Here I made it look like an addition problem. So I'm going to stick to it this way. I have $62 and then I borrow money from a friend, right? Maybe we're at the mall. I borrow that much cash because $62 is at home. When I get home, I have to give the $62 to my friend. Sorry about that. I have to give the $62 to my friend. But in the end, I'm going to still owe money. Let's see how much. I'm going to take my larger absolute value, subtract my smaller absolute value, right? And in the end, I'm going to owe, that's larger, I owe $35. So notice the work I have to show over here. Trust me, I know when you guys are on your own, some of you are definitely going to cheat and use a calculator. So I will be looking for this work when I ask you to hand work in. Okay, I'm going up to number 10, we're up to number 4. In number 4, I'm starting with $26 and I spend 12. In elementary school, you wrote it like this, 26 minus 12. You now need to know that these two mean the same thing. I could write it like this, or I could write it like this. And 26 minus 12 is just 14. Notice in these first two problems, I'm starting in debt. I owe money. In numbers 3 and 4, I'm starting with money that I have. Okay, moving on. Number 5. Number 5, I'm starting in debt $54 and I'm earning 21. I have to give this money to that person. So I'm going to take the larger absolute value, subtract the smaller, and I am left owing, that's my bigger number, absolute value, I'm going to end up owing $33. Okay, now I'm really going to change it. What if I borrowed $53 from my mom, borrowed $53, and I borrowed $22 from my dad? Now I am actually going to add these together. I am going to combine my debt. So if I add these together, all together I owe $75. Okay. We're going to go to number 10. So let's go to number 7. At any point, you can feel free to pause this and try the problem on your own, because now I'm going to start repeating problems that look like that. Let's start in debt of $32, and I'm going to spend $29. So number 7 looks like number 6. I owe and I owe. if I add my debt together, combine my debt, I am going to owe $61. That one I was able to add in my head. Okay, we'll do 8, 9, and 10 over here. Number 8. Number 8, I'm starting with $47 and then I'm borrowing $38. Okay, so let's say I'm at the mall, I borrow $38 from a friend, I have $47 at home. When we get home, I have to pay my friend back $38. So if I do some math, my larger absolute value minus the smaller, after I settle at my debt, I have $9. Don't put a plus sign before it. There's an invisible positive sign right before it. Okay, 2 more. Number 9, starting with 36, borrowing 93. Okay, I have to pay back this person from my 36. I take my larger absolute value, subtract my smaller absolute value. Okay. And here, this is my larger absolute value. I'm going to owe $57. And number 10. I'm starting in debt. I earn $13. I have to give this 13 to that person. Okay, so I'm going to do the subtraction. Oh, I didn't have to borrow. What am I doing? Okay, oops, sorry, 6 minus 1. Okay, so here, that's my larger absolute value. I'm going to owe $52. Did you notice here that in these problems, I subtracted, nope, here. These two I did actually add. I combined my debt, right? Here I subtracted. Do you see why I don't like calling this adding integers? I like calling it combining. I like thinking about money. You all know how much money you have and how much you owe. I am combining my debt, that's the word debt, what I owe and what I earn. I'm going to do a few of these lessons adding integers. Okay, slow and steady, no cheating with the calculator. I always encourage you when I do these, at any point in time, if you need to pause it and you want to try it on your own on paper and then watch me do it, that's a great way to practice. Okay, Mrs. Collins signing off.